What is going on, TU crew, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. I am welcomed yet again by these two bozos, Jake Maltese and Luke Rosenthal. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Gage. We're going to get into why in a little bit, but just a phenomenal weekend for me.
Yeah, football right around the corner. Couldn't be happier. It's the most wonderful time of the year. People say it's Christmas. People say it's winter. Hell no. It's football season, baby. Let's go.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's better than Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time to drink beer. But first, of course, we have to do our Guess That Player. I am providing it this week. Are you guys ready?
Always.
What's the score? Who won last week?
It's 5-5 to 1-1.
I think we broke the tie last week.
Did we?
I think we did. Wait, who gave it last week? I gave it Adam Rank week. Luke, you must have given it last week.
Okay. That's right.
So
it was Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, and Gage definitely didn't win. Yeah, okay. So I have 6. 6,
Whoa.
5.
Whoa.
Getting a little
Anytime
hostile
Gage
with them
wins now. Yeah, anytime Gage wins now, it's notable. Like, we're going to remember that episode forever.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
He was drafted. This is an NFL player, by the way.
Okay.
NFL season right around the corner. They're probably going to be NFL players for a while.
Yeah.
Drafted in the 6th round in 2013.
Hold on. No, I don't got it. Okay.
Yeah, you're not getting that. What?
He went to UCF. He has played for 3 teams thus far in his NFL career.
2013.
It is a skill position. He's got one 1,000-yard rushing season to his name. And the last one might give it away. So
Is it Latavius Murray?
it is Latavius Murray.
That's a good
so
one.
crazy because literally why I was late to recording the podcast was because I was making a video of Latavius Murray and I looked up all of those stats right before this episode. Wow.
Damn it.
Yeah. The final hint was going to be that he was released today. So
I had no idea who was really say. I had no clue that Latavius Murray went to UCF. So that's good.
Yeah. We asked him to take a pay cut yesterday and he was not about it. So here we are.
Baltimore Ravens, call this guy up.
Probably.
Yeah.
That'd be a good move, honestly. He's a good
They
back.
just signed Le'Veon Bell to their practice squad.
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
But good news for Latavius Murray, Alvin Kamara fantasy owners, because now you have even less of a threat behind him.
100%. Yeah. That's going to be good for them. With that being said, we are going to move on to big boy football in the NFL. And we have got the first game of the season this coming Thursday. And it is going to be Cowboys, Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions, and the extremely overrated every single season Cowboys. Who do you guys got in this one? And how do you think it plays out?
The Cowboys are in the worst position ever to start off a season against. I wouldn't even say it's arguably the best team in the league. They're coming off a Super Bowl, brought all 22 starters. They're in the worst position, especially when you want to see Dak maybe prosper week 1 coming off that leg injury last season. You want to see him actually do well, develop chemistry with some of the young guys like CeeDee Lamb. They're in the worst spot ever. I don't think anybody really thinks that the Cowboys are going to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout. The Buccaneers are so damn good. They are too deep. They are 2 players deep in their entire front 7. You could take their backups and they would still win this game probably by 10 points. Legit. And you look at the receiving core, it keeps getting better somehow. They have players everywhere. They have notable names everywhere. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league right now. That was a big turnaround since Jameis Winston was their starter. Why can't I think of that right tackle's name? Tristan Wirfs, one of the best tackles in the league right now. And last year was only his first year. The Buccaneers are going to obliterate the Cowboys. And I would love to see that happen too. Yeah. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, just to reiterate on what I don't have much more to add other than the fact that, the Bucs are going to absolutely destroy the Cowboys in this one. This is not going to be pretty for Cowboys fans, which makes me a little happy inside. It does. I would be lying if I said it doesn't. But even talking about the Bucs depth, I mean, their first round rookie, Joe Tryon, has been putting on a clinic in training camp right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are saying, like he's starting to climb up the odds of winning defensive rookie of the year because the things that these about Shaquille Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul are saying about him, like this guy's going to be really good. And they got him with the last pick of the first round, which is insane. So just the fact that the Bucks are getting better, they're adding even more players that can make an impact on a defense that is arguably going to be the best in the league. And they already have an insane offense with Antonio Brown as their third wide receiver. Yeah, this team is primed to be Super Bowl champions again. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, absolute cheat code of a team. Not fair at all. Of course, they have to be in my division. Thanks a lot, Tom Brady. I appreciate that. But yeah, exactly what you guys were saying. I don't have a ton to add. Very unfortunate for the Cowboys. Very unfortunate for Dak Prescott, especially when you're trying to come back from that level of an injury mentally. I mean, dealing with one of the best defenses in the league, dealing with a team that's going to be great pass rushing you, especially not having Zach Martin week 1 is going to be rough. It is going to be a rough night for Dak Prescott. He's probably going to be running for his life. We'll see what happens. I have the Buccaneers also. I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah, Bucks are -8. Which is kind of a crazy spread for the first game of the season when you kind of want to put like two contenders up against one another to really kick off the season. For some reason they picked the fucking Cowboys. Let's get some score predictions because I'm going with the blowout. I'm going Bucks 38, Cowboys 17.
I'm gonna go Bucks 35, Cowboys 20.
Wow. You guys are going a little low for me, I think. I was going to go Bucks 42.
Wow.
Cowboys 21.
Wow. Watch the Cowboys blow out the Bucks.
That would be insane. I wouldn't even feel stupid for that. Like, how could we predict that?
Do I start Dak in fantasy this week? I don't know.
No.
Who's your other quarterback?
No. Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson might have a good game, though. They're going to be behind by a lot. He's going to be throwing a lot.
Yeah, fantasy-wise, he probably will.
I don't know. We'll make.
I think they end up scoring around the same amount of points. Honestly, probably not going to be that far off from each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough ask.
I trust Dak a lot more. I'll say that much at least.
I do too. But like first game coming off injury against defending champs, really good front seven,
insane defense, weak offensive line.
It's going to be tough.
It might not be Dak's week to start.
Yeah, probably not.
Another quarterback that I don't have a lot of trust in, Ben Roethlisberger, is going into Buffalo to take on the Bills defense, which year after year has been a pretty solid defense now. Great secondary. Who do you guys got in that one? Jake, you want to start this one off?
Yeah, I'm just going to come out straight and say it. I got the Bills in this one. I think the Bills are primed for another AFC title run. The Steelers, I think, are being heavily overrated this year. They have one of the worst offensive lines they've had in the last decade. Ben Roethlisberger, I know he's in the best shape of his life. So people are saying, I don't care. He tailed off at the end of last year. You're seeing it. I think he gets a good couple weeks in and then he goes back to seeing that decline. The Bills are just keep on coming up. They keep on getting better. Josh Allen keeps getting better specifically. And I just think the Bills are way too well coached. Not saying the Steelers aren't well coached. I just think this is going to be a Steelers team that disappoints a lot of people this year. So I'm going with the Bills in this one.
Yeah, before the season even started, obviously the season hasn't started yet. I don't think the Steelers are going to come out of the season with a winning record. I think it's actually going to be the first year in Mike Tomlin's tenure there that they are under 500. That being said, I definitely don't have them winning this game. 100% not. I mean, maybe defensively, it's a good matchup on paper. Steelers defense, Bills offense, and maybe it's an even better matchup on paper with the Steelers offense going up against the Bills defense, because maybe there's some points to be scored there for that Steelers offense. Bills defense isn't the greatest. I just don't see any way that Ben Roethlisberger could keep up with this Bills offense. I think the Bills offense, I made a video about it on TikTok a couple days ago. I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to be the best quarterback wide receiver duo this season. They're probably going to break a bunch of records. I could definitely see them breaking the receiving yards record now that there's a 17th game added on. I don't want to get ahead of myself there. But I see a lot of people thinking that Najee Harris is going to all of a sudden change the entire, running game for the Steelers. But that's not really why they didn't have a great running game last year, because we saw the year prior, James Conner was outstanding. James Conner had a hell of a year. Was that the year prior or was that his rookie year? I'm not sure. One of the 2 years before. Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was pretty good both those seasons.
Yeah. Their offensive line just isn't the same as it once was. Guys are getting older. They're losing guys. They didn't do anything in the draft to really help out that offensive line. They can't run block for shit. I'm not expecting Najee Harris to come in and automatically have like an 1,100-yard season because people think he's such a great prospect. I'm not on that side of the fence. I think the Bills win this game. I think they win it pretty handily.
So I agree that the Bills are going to win this game, but I don't think it's going to be as distant as people think it is. I'm not that high on Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers offense, but I feel like they still have enough firepower that they can at least keep it somewhat close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be like neck and neck the whole game, but I think that it's going to be a 1, maybe 2-score game. I don't know. I like the Bills' run game. I expect it to get better this season. Josh Allen is obviously tremendous. Stephon Diggs is obviously tremendous. That wide receiver core got even deeper with Emmanuel Sanders. I think that Gabe Davis is going to get better this season. Mm-hmm. So in all the areas that the Bills are getting better, the Steelers are getting worse. And I think for that, I actually agree with you, Luke. I think that Mike Tomlin will have his first season under 500. Do we want to do score predictions for this one as well?
Yeah. I'm going to go Bills 27, Steelers 19. A little bit of a weird score there, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a weird game.
I feel like
I'm going to go kind of right around that score. I'm going to go Bills 28, Steelers 17.
I think I'm going to go higher than you guys again. I think I'm going to go 31 for the Bills, and I'm going to go 26 for the Steelers.
That's fair.
Interesting.
Fair.
All right, Jake, I think that you have to start this one off. Seahawks at Colts. Carson Wentz is looking like he's trending toward playing.
Yeah. That was that Carson Wentz. Like, I literally just looked it up yesterday. I was like, is Carson Wentz, because they gave us a 5 to 12 week time frame for his injury, which is not specific at all. Like, that gives you no sense of when he's coming back. Apparently he will be back for week 1, according to everything that the Colts are saying. So I guess everybody that thought Jacob Eason was going to be able to play, sorry. But yeah. So this is, I believe, is this in Seattle? No, this is in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, Seattle. Listen, a lot of people are low on Seattle. They do this every year. They think Seattle is going to suck. And I even saw somebody that thinks that Seattle is going to lose the division, lose the NFC West, just flat out be the worst team in it. I don't believe that at all. I saw another thing that said a simulation concluded that through week 10, the Seahawks were 0-9, which is ridiculous. So I don't know where all this hate for the Seahawks is coming. Their team is no different than it's been before. That we still don't have an O-line. It's gotten a little better. We've heard some good things about Gabe Jackson in training camp. The defense is still suspect, as it has been for years, since the Legion of Boom left. And I see this still being a playoff team, as it always is. I'm really excited to see this new offense go into effect with Shane Waldron. I really think he's going to bring a new innovative offense to Seattle, something we haven't seen in a while, and something we didn't see with Brian Schottenheimer or Darrell Bevel. So I think this is going to be one of the more fun Seahawks teams to watch for a while, because over the past couple of years, it's been the same shit. And then by week 8, people want to know why Russell wasn't slowed down at week 8 last year. It's because the league figured our offense out, because it was fucking basic. It was send DK Metcalf deep on a post route, play action every once in a while, and just run the ball every chance we get. Like, it was the most obvious offense ever. You could figure it out in 8 weeks, obviously. But yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to come out of here with a win. This Colts team is good, but I think Carson Wentz, yes, he's in his Super Bowl, offense that Frank Reich had, but I just don't see Carson Wentz having a great game here, especially coming back from injury. So I'm going to have the Seahawks winning this one 24-13. I'm
reserving my right to change my pick based on whether or not Carson Wentz plays. based on whether or not Carson Wentz plays. If Carson Wentz plays, I'm going with the Colts. If he doesn't play, I'm going with the Seahawks. All right.
Gage, is that allowed? Is that allowed?
I think that should be allowed. Here? I think that should be allowed.
It's rough. I feel like we have to. You got to look at it like fantasy almost, because we're going to be keeping track of these picks. You have to decide who you're going to start or who you think is going to start when we're recording. Because I mean, and if it changes, it changes. But
all right, that changes the game now. This is a big pick. I'm going with the Colts. I think Indianapolis wins this game. You look at the second half of the season last year for Russell Wilson, sort of in a sense fell off a cliff, at least where he was at the top at the start of the season, MVP runaway. You look at where he ended last season and him going up against this defense in week 1, I just don't think bodes well. You saw what he did in that postseason game against the Rams last year, sort of stunk it up. Not saying that the Colts defense is anywhere near the Rams defense, but they have similar aspects. I mean, Aaron Donald on the Rams, DeForest Buckner is a really good defensive tackle, probably top 3 in the league. Although they don't really have a cornerback to match up with Jalen Ramsey, Kenny Moore is emerging, and he's going to be the next big guy in the NFL. I love this Colts defense. Their offense worries me. I really want to see Carson Wentz come out, and I think he could do that against this defense. It's not a great secondary by any means. I think he'd come out and have a great performance. They're getting Marlon Mack back. Who knows how much he's going to be featured in the backfield, because it's really crowded with Jonathan Taylor, with Nyheim Hines. That's sort of like a 3-headed monster backfield there. Great offensive line. I think the Colts win this. I wouldn't be shocked if the Seahawks end up winning this, especially if Carson Wentz doesn't play. I think it's going to be a lot more of a high scoring game than people are going to anticipate. Give me Indianapolis.
I'm actually going to take the Colts as well. And the reason for that being, and it's not that I'm low on the Seahawks or that I think the Seahawks are going to be bad or anything like that, but Jake, like you were saying, with a new offensive scheme coming into play, I feel like it might take them just a little bit of time to get in tune with things, especially against a very good defense like the Colts. Like Luke was saying, they have they have a good front seven. They've got DeForest Buckner. They've got Darius Leonard. They've got guys on the secondary that are emerging. So I like them a lot. And I've been saying for a while now, not even that I'm necessarily a Carson Wentz truther or anything like that, but they made it to the playoffs with Phillip Rivers at the helm. And he didn't have a horrible season per se. I think that Carson Wentz is more than capable of playing up to the level that Phillip Rivers was playing, if not a little bit better. So I think that they can be a good team nonetheless. I'm going to take the Colts.
Yeah, I don't think you can't get any worse than Phillip Rivers. I don't think. I really don't.
Last season, coming toward the end of his career, I mean, yeah, there was much better options out there for sure. Yeah. Luke, you didn't give a score prediction and neither did I. So if you want to go ahead first, then I'll give mine.
Give me Colts 34, Seahawks 31.
Okay, I'm going to take Colts 28 and I'm going to take Seahawks 21. I think it'll be close. Okay. And then we are going to move on to our matchup, Luke. Me versus you in this one. It's a home game for us technically, even though we're playing in Jacksonville, which is bullshit. It sucks. Mm-hmm. Fuck the weather. Packers at Saints in Jacksonville. Luke, you have the floor.
Woo! Let me crack my knuckles for a sec. The Saints lost their biggest advantage, and it wasn't Drew Brees. It's not Michael Thomas. It's what is it now? The Caesars Superdome? That's so weird. I don't like that. Yeah. Go back. Not with it. They lost their biggest advantage, and that was that home stadium in front of that crowd who really, you haven't had a full stadium in over a year now. They were going to come out, they were going to be rowdy, and they lost that. Who knows if Saints fans are going to travel? I'm sure a lot of them are, especially more than Packers fans, because they picked Jacksonville because it's going to be more expensive for Packers
that reason.
Yeah, crazy. I think the Packers end up winning this. It's not that I don't have trust in Jameis Winston. It's more so that I don't really know what to expect, because this offense is a lot different than the Buccaneers offense that he ran in 2018 now, 2019. He was a run and gun sort of guy. I throw it down the field, let Mike Evans catch it. He doesn't really have that number one receiver to go up and get a ball like that because Michael Thomas isn't out. Marquez Callaway has looked amazing in the preseason. Don't get me wrong, but is he going to be a big factor in week 1 going up against Jair Alexander? Probably not. I think it's going to be a lot of Alvin Kamara, just like it was last year in last year's game when he just ran all over us. I say us like I'm part of the team, but I like this Packers team. I really do. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming out with a vengeance this season, as he should every single year until he gets that ring. It's the last dance, people. We're going to get a win in week 1. I just don't see the Saints really pulling it off, especially now that the game isn't even in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's really funny how they went about that home field thing with picking Jacksonville, because they were like, okay, Aaron Rodgers has a career passer rating of 78 in Florida, and he's got a losing record in Florida, and Packers fans won't be able to travel as easily to Jacksonville. So it's just crazy how they went about all that. But we have Jameis Winston, who's obviously about to go for his first MVP season. We've got Alvin Kamara. We've got Marquez Callaway, who's breaking out. We've got just young guys emerging all over the place, even on the defensive side of the ball with Zach Bond stepping up. We've got a great linebacker core. We've got some guys that are a little bit questionable as far as our secondary goes, but, I think we can manage. And Coach Sean Payton has done amazing with all the quarterbacks he's had over the past few years. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right here, right now, I am taking the Green Bay Packers in this game.
Yep. Good pick.
Oh, smart man. Smart man.
And I'm going to get so much hate from the Saints fans in the Discord and stuff. But guys, I just got to be realistic here, especially if we are keeping track of this. It's like I'm betting, and I just can't bet on us right now.
Yeah. I don't have much to add. I mean, these I don't have a dog in this fight. You guys pretty much said it all. I'm going with the Packers. The Saints are a huge question mark right now, and the Packers are just a better team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think biggest player to watch out for is probably Devontae Adams, because we didn't get to see Devontae Adams go up against that New Orleans secondary last year. It was Allen Lazard and the boys. Definitely look out for Devontae Adams against Marshawn Lattimore. I think that's going to be the matchup to watch.
Yeah, that'll be fun. If you're going to look for anybody on the Saints side of the ball, Alvin Kamara, obviously. He's going to be probably doing a lot of the work, especially with the release of Latavius Murray today. So it's definitely going to get pretty interesting.
Who's the backup now?
His name is totally slipping my mind right now. He hasn't been with us long.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't have my laptop if you want to look that up. While you do that, we are going to move on to Browns Chiefs, a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, a team that is emerging as one of the Super Bowl favorites this year, it seems, with the Browns, who are making a lot of improvements. Jake, you want to go ahead and take it first on this one?
Yeah. So this is a rematch of the AFC divisional game from last year's playoffs, where the Browns really outperformed a lot of people's expectations, and they really actually kept up with the Chiefs there for a while. I think this Browns team is better than last year's. They're getting a bunch of pieces back, as well as adding a bunch of pieces specifically on that defense in John Johnson and Grant Delpit. So basically, they're getting a totally new duo of safeties. This Browns team and Jadeveon Clowney, this Browns team is going to be special. It really is. Like, we need to get rid of that usual thought of that we've had, that we've been, that's been pounded into our heads as we've grown up, that the Browns are just terrible, because the Browns are not going to be terrible for a while now. They have a solid base. They've got a solid coach. And this Browns team is going to be really, really good for years to come. And I'm excited to watch it. The Chiefs are obviously, they pulled a Houdini act, rebuilding their entire offensive line in one offseason. I wish the Seahawks could learn from them, but obviously they can't. The Chiefs are obviously one of the most dominant teams in the NFL. If the Bucks aren't the Super Bowl favorite, then the Chiefs are. So this is going to be, probably aside from the Seahawks Colts game, this is going to be the game I'm keeping my eyes on. I think this is, other than I'm obviously biased, I think this is probably the best game of the weekend between two powerhouses here. I am actually going to take the upset here. I'm going to take the Browns in this one, because I just think the Browns have had all of training camp. They've had all offseason to think about that, their last game of the season last year against the Chiefs, and how close they were to actually being able to pull that off, because they were a few plays away from actually winning that game. It was a closer game than people think. So I think the Browns go out for vengeance here. They have the Chiefs number, and I think they put up a damn good fight. I think it goes all the way to the fourth quarter. I'm excited to watch this one. I think the Browns win 31-28. I think they win it by a field goal.
That's interesting. Jake, you said that this was the most exciting game of the weekend. Did you know that the Vikings and Bengals were playing?
Oh shoot. I did no, you know what? Now that I just thought of it, the Jaguars and Texans are playing. So actually I gotta, yeah, you're right. Let me rethink that.
Yeah, rethink that. This is so tough. If the game, all right, I'm just going to come out and say I have the Chiefs winning this, but if the game were in Cleveland, I'm picking the Browns. I think the Browns overall right now, I think they have the best roster in the NFL. I do. And I think it's better than the Chiefs. I think they have a better roster than the Bucks, who just came off of a Super Bowl win. And I don't care if that's a hot take. I don't think it even is. I mean, you look at their two-headed monster running back, Kareem Hunt, who could literally start on any other NFL team and probably rush for 1,000 yards. Nick Chubb, who, in my opinion, is the best pure rusher in the NFL, a top 5 wide receiver core. Baker Mayfield is going to only keep improving. The best offensive line in the league from last year. And then defensively, they just continue to improve. John Johnson, Jadeveon Clowney, JOK were really big additions to this defense. Myles Garrett is already a defensive player of the year candidate. And their secondary just got better because they added Greg Ward, who I think is going to be a Jair Alexander type.
Greg Newsome.
Not Greg Ward. Fuck me. Greg Newsome. Greg Ward. Yeah. On the Philadelphia Eagles. Greg Ward.
Yeah.
Jr. Yep. No, this team is outstanding. I just don't think it's not that they're not ready for this spotlight. It's just like, this is just a tough match. Week 1 going into Arrowhead, full stadium. Best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, uncoverable wide receiver in Tyreek Hill, uncoverable tight end, Travis Kelce. I don't think that they're going to pull it out, but I would love to see this matchup again in the playoffs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs 35. I'm going to go with the Browns 20. No. Chiefs 35, Browns 20. Chiefs 35, Browns 28. There we go. Finally got it.
Okay. All right. I like that a lot. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs here as well. I agree with a lot of what Jake was saying as far as the Browns being really good. And I think this is going to be a really close game for sure. This is going to be my game of the week as well. And I just think that the Chiefs have a little more chemistry with one another. They've been together a lot longer, whereas like you were saying, Luke, the Browns have a lot of new additions. Might take a little bit of time to mesh, but I think that they are going to give them a run for their money. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'll say probably like 31 to 21. I think it'll be close, but I think that the Chiefs will pull it out late.
Will the Chiefs Browns be the new Patriots Broncos? Wow.
Ooh.
That could be
that's a good one.
Because I think they're both going to be great for years to come.
Yeah. I think I'm going to call this right now. I want this put on the Instagram sped. So if you're listening to this, as soon as the game is over, I think the Browns are going to have 4+ sacks in this game. I think they are. I think they're going to put on a clinic defensively in this game because that offensive line, it has not been, all of those pieces are new. I don't think anybody, like there might be like one person returning. They haven't meshed together. Like they're all new pieces. They haven't really meshed together. They had training camp, but I feel like that's not enough time for an offensive line to really get that chemistry. And I think this is not the defensive line you want to be going against to if you don't have that full chemistry and ready to go. So I think Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, I think those guys are going to put up 4+ sacks on the Chiefs. Mark it down right now.
I'll take it one step further. I think Myles Garrett might have 4 sacks just alone.
Okay, that's a little crazy.
I don't think that's. I think he might.
I mean, yeah, if there's anybody that can do it, it's Myles Garrett. Yeah,
I actually disagree. If the pieces that they added on the offensive line are all vets, and they're not just vets, they're guys that have been really great at their position. And I think that they've probably had plenty of time just in training camp to adjust to one another and to adjust to what the Chiefs are trying to do. And I think despite that Browns D-line being very, very good, I think that they'll get a couple in maybe, but I just don't know that they're going to tear them apart or anything crazy.
Creed Humphrey, rookie. Get most important guy with the ball every snap.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
Just putting that out there. I wish it was a Seahawk.
Laurent Duvernay Tardif hasn't played in a year. Orlando Brown.
Dr. Laurent Duvernay
Sorry, doctor.
It's insane. In the NFL and going to med school. Dude, wild.
The workload is crazy.
We struggle just to put out a fucking podcast.
I know. I can't even fathom that. His time management must be fucking like he must be able to teach a course on that. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway.
All right. That's going to conclude the games that we are going to highlight for this week. We are going to go through the rest of them and just make our picks really quickly now. Let's just do it in a rotation, kind of make it easy. I'll say the matchup. Jake, if you want to go first, then Luke, then I'll give mine, and we'll just move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So we have got Eagles at Falcons.
Jesus, this is another train wreck of a game. Shit. Oh man, the Eagles are a huge question mark. I'm going with the Falcons. Just because the Eagles, I don't know what they're going to put up on the field right now. I mean, Nick Sirianni, we have no idea what's going to go on with him. Jalen Hurts wasn't named the starter until like this week, which is ridiculous, but I mean, whatever. At least the Falcons, I know you got Matt Ryan, you got Calvin Ridley, you got a really good offensive line. So I just trust them more. Hey, the Eagles, I could not be less confident in this pick. Like I just think this game is a complete question mark. Both these teams are question marks. I'm going to go with the Falcons in this one. I just don't have a lot of trust in the Eagles. That's really the only reason.
All right, Luke,
what score are you giving, Jake?
Oh, you want to score? Jesus Christ. Let's go Falcons 17, Eagles 14.
I think you made a really good point. The Eagles are maybe the biggest question mark in the entire NFL right now. Yeah. I'm going to admit, I wouldn't be surprised. Legitimately would not be surprised if the Eagles went 0-17. I know that's outlandish. I know people make those takes all the time, but like the Eagles are that bad. You don't know what you're getting out of Jalen Hurts going into year 2. They have a really young receiving core. Miles Sanders, we've been waiting for him to break out forever now. That hasn't seemed to happen. They're losing pieces on defense. Their secondary is atrocious. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 0-17. Should I pick them this week? After saying that, no. Give me the Falcons, because the Falcons, Matt Ryan, he's been there. He knows what it is. I don't think he's nearly as good as he once was in 2016 when he won the MVP. But I know what I'm going to get out of the Falcons. I know Calvin Ridley's probably going to have like 180 yards receiving in this game.
Yeah.
Definitely start him in fantasy every week. It's Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
He could lead the league in touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised. Give me the Falcons 30, Eagles 10.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree. Both these teams, huge question marks. The Falcons have had a little more time together as far as the team as a whole. I think Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley. But with that being said, I am going to be the odd man out here, and I'm going to take the Eagles in this one in an absolute shootout between the two of the teams. I think that both of those defenses are bad. And while I think that the Falcons offense obviously has some great pieces, I think that Devontae Smith is going to step up, and I think that he's very Calvin Ridley-esque. And I think that Jalen Hurts rushing upside and Miles Sanders pass catching upside are what are going to put them over. And I'm going to give this a score of 28-21.
All right.
See, I feel like this should be a high scoring game because both of their defenses suck. But deep down in my gut, anytime you expect something to be a high scoring game, it
doesn't seem to go that way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I picked 17-14. I don't know. It's just a feeling I have.
Yeah. And then the next game we have is going to be Vikings Bengals. At Bengals, that is.
It's my game of the week.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. They're obviously the better team. Joe Burrow's coming back. Good for him after that scary, leg injury that he had last year. The Vikings just have a better team here. The Bengals are still on the come up. We have yet to see the full fruition of Zach Taylor as head coach there. Really, he's probably more or less on the hot seat at this point. I just think the Vikings, they're going to be, in the hunt for the playoffs this year. They still got a really, really talented team, especially with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. They got a decent O-line. Defense is pretty good. I think the Vikings are going to win this one pretty convincingly. I'll take the Vikings in this one, 30-17.
If the Browns were the most improved team in the AFC, then the Vikings were the most improved team in the NFC. And maybe it's not even just because they didn't even really do a lot in free agency. They just got a lot of people healthy again. Yeah, they're just bringing back guys. Daniil Hunter didn't play last year. He's coming back. Michael Pierce didn't play last year. He's coming back. A lot of these players, I think the Vikings are a playoff team, a legitimate playoff team. I think Justin Jefferson in year 2 is only going to get better. Dalvin Cook was outstanding last year. He's going to have another awesome season. If I'm the Bengals, I'm scared as hell for Joe Burrow because you really didn't do much to improve the offensive line in the offseason. And going up against Danielle Hunter, who's one of the most feared pass rushers in the league, I'm not too fond of that. Give me the Vikings to win this, and give me the Vikings with 3 interceptions on the day as well. Wow. I'm going Vikings 28, Bengals 21.
You know what? Give me Danielle Hunter to have that Myles Garrett game that you were talking about earlier, Luke. Mm-hmm. I think that he is going to have a field day. Yep, 4. I'm going to take 4 for Danielle Hunter in the very first game back against that atrocious Bengals O-line that they didn't really put any effort into improving whatsoever. I think that Joe Burrow is going to be obviously rusty. He was in for all of 3 plays this preseason, and he's just starting to get back to that point where they think that he's healthy enough to play. Jamar Chase hasn't looked very good. He's caught like 1 ball. He's dropped the rest of them. It's not even like just overthrown or anything like that. I think this Vikings team, like you guys said, is on the come up. I think that their offense is already very good. Kirk Cousins can handle himself. They've got good receivers. They've got a great running back, top 2 running back, arguably in the NFL, and Dalvin Cook, top 2, top 3. And I think that they're just going to run away with this one. So I'm going to give it a score of probably 35 to 20. I don't know if I want to give them that much. 35 to 17.
That might be a little much. 17.
All right. 49ers at Lions.
Guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Jared. I'm kidding. This is going to be a blowout. This is going to be embarrassing for the Lions, which sucks for Dan Campbell because I'm rooting for him so hard. You really want to see Dan Campbell succeed. I think he will have success in Detroit. I just think that's a couple years down the road. This is the, foundation team. This is the team blown up to get where you want to go. You got to blow it up first. So this is that team. This is Detroit Lions fans. I feel like approach this team like you approach the 08 team. Maybe don't watch them at all. If you maybe put a bag over your head, if you are going to watch them, I just don't think this is going to be pretty. I think the Niners are going to drop a 40 burger on them. I'm going to have the Niners 42, Lions 14.
Yeah. My analysis for this game, 49ers are good. Lions are bad. Give me the 49ers 38 to 20.
Very intuitive right there. That.
Yeah, they're real cutting edge.
You just blew my mind with that.
It's been watching film, guys.
Yeah.
I am obviously also going to take the 49ers, but I think there's some bright spots on that Lions team. That O-line arguably not even arguably, it got significantly better. It got a lot better. They've got some good running backs in DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. So I think that it won't be a complete destruction per se. I mean, Jared Goff's a Super Bowl quarterback, right?
True. I love when people bring up the Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl argument. Trent Dilfer went to a Super Bowl too. Do you think we're impressed with that? No.
You know who's never been to a Super Bowl, Jake? Matt Stafford.
Exactly. Jared Goff is better than Matt Stafford, confirmed.
Yes. So the Lions won the trade. Anyway, I'm going to give it to the 49ers in this one. I think I'm going to say probably similar to what I said for Vikings Bengals. I'm going to go like 31 to 10.
All right. Legitimate question. Other than Amon-Ra St. Brown, name me one other Lions receiver.
Tyrell Williams.
Fuck.
TJ Hawkinson.
Nah, that doesn't count.
It counts. He's receiving the ball.
Wide receiver.
DeAndre Swift.
Wide receiver. Okay, you didn't specify. See?
Oh wait, how could I forget? They have Quintez Cephas, Wisconsin legend. There we go.
Oh,
also true.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Right,
boys. Not
what it's.
I'm going to this game, so I'm pretty excited about that this weekend. Cardinals at Titans should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is one of those sneaky good games that you really, it's not big name teams. You're not really excited about this game unless you're like a big football fan, which we all are, which is why we're all excited about this game. This is really an identity game for both of these teams. You got Arizona coming out, adding AJ Green. This is really Cliff Kingsbury's last year to prove something, in my opinion. Prove that his offense can be dominant in the NFL. Not just that his offense can work in the NFL. That his offense can be dominant in the NFL. That's why you're hired. You're hired to be dominant, not to work, not to go through the motions. And Tennessee coming in, Arthur Smith obviously leaves. Their offense coordinator leaves to be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And they add Julio Jones. What's their identity going to be now that they have 2 elite pass catchers on their team with Derrick Henry, 2,000-yard rusher? So very excited about this game. Both these teams have improved defenses, big pieces added. Obviously, JJ Watt on the Cardinals. So I think I'm going to go with the Titans in this one. The Titans are a really, really, really good team this year. They're really solid. I think Mike Vrabel is a really underrated coach. He's done a phenomenal job with that team after taking over a couple of years ago. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to have a big game here. So I'm going to go with the Titans 31, Cardinals 24.
Yeah, I actually think this is going to be the game of the week. And a big reason why is because I think it's going to be going overtime. I'm going to give my score and then the analysis. I'm going to pick the Cardinals here. 41-38 gets a field goal in overtime. These are going to be 2 of the most electrifying offenses in the league. Don't get me wrong. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a ridiculous year. 3 now? Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws close to 40 touchdowns with that wide receiver core. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Tannehill throw for close to 40 touchdowns with that wide receiver core. I think this is going to be a great game. Shout out to whoever the fuck just signed into my Twitter account, by the way, from North Carolina. Thanks, man.
What? Did we just have identity theft on the podcast? That just happened live
mid podcast. Yeah, give me the Cardinals to win 41-38 in overtime. I'm expecting big things from D-Hop. I don't like this Titans secondary at all. I think there's a lot to be improved there, and I think there's a lot to take advantage of there for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. So give me the Cardinals to win this game.
See, I like that last thing that you said there, because that is exactly why I'm taking the Cardinals as well. I think that Titans defense just isn't as good as that Cardinals defense. And I'm not even saying that the Cardinals defense is leaps and bounds better than them, but adding JJ Watt and having that strong front seven, having, a pretty good secondary as well with Budda Baker and guys like that. I think that it's going to be close. It's going to be a scoring race, but I think that the Cardinals are going to be able to get more stops in the long run. And that's why they are going to win it 38-31.
And you're going to that game too.
I am going to that game. So I hope that it's high scoring. That'll be fun. Especially because I don't have a dog in the race.
I'll prop bet my entire life savings that someone streaks the field, and I will split it with you, Gage.
Wow.
We need it.
I see what you did there.
We need it.
Yeah. I see. Is it worth the night in jail? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. We've got another one that's going to be pretty interesting. I think some teams that are emerging. Chargers at Washington football team.
Ooh. So a lot of people, much to my shock, now that I'm 21 years old, I can legally start sports betting. So I haven't been going crazy, but I put $20 on Washington to win the division. They were actually not favored to win the division, much to my confusion. The Cowboys are, which, I mean, that's just an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty solid about that one. Chargers, obviously, Justin Herbert coming back, Derwin James coming back. That's a big addition for the Chargers, their best defensive player, arguably. Yeah, this is going to be a fun matchup. This is going to be another really, really fun one. Ball's going to be flying all over the field with just 2 quarterbacks that don't give a shit about just chucking the football downfield in Fitzmagic and Justin Herbert. I think this game is going to be crazy. It's going to be, man, I think I really have to go Washington here. I mean, defense wins. Defense always wins, and the Washington clearly has the advantage in defense here. But I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game regardless of how good Washington defense is, just because of how potent these offenses are. So I am going to go with the Washington football team to win 28-24.
You said it best. Washington is going to win because of their defense. I don't have as high expectations for this Chargers team as some other people think that they're going to win the division. Like some people think that they are going to beat Kansas City legitimately. I've seen that all over TikTok recently. I've seen at least 3 videos the past 2 weeks saying that the Chargers are going to win the division. Anyways, that's not going to happen because they're playing with the Chiefs, obviously. But I don't love this Chargers team. I don't love it. I think people have way too high of expectations for Austin Eckler, especially because, the Chargers have an improved offensive line. All of a sudden, Austin Eckler is going to, rise into superstar status. He was injured a lot last year, but Justin Jackson behind him was looking even better than he was at some points in the season. I don't know. I do think that the Washington defense is going to win this game for them. I think it's going to be low scoring. I don't think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to have the greatest game. I think they're probably going to have to look for a quarterback elsewhere throughout the season. That being said, give me the Washington football team to win their first game of the season. I'm going to go 24-20. Give me Washington football team. WFT, baby.
Yeah. See, as someone who has been victim to a week 1 Ryan Fitzpatrick game when he was on the Buccaneers, I have to take the Fitzmagic game in week 1 going up against a Chargers defense that is a little bit lackluster in my opinion, but could be very good, especially adding a new head coach in Brandon Staley, who is a defensive minded guy and did very well with the Rams. Obviously, he did have some great pieces to work with as well. So if you want to take that away from him, I guess you can to an extent, but he was scheming up some great things. I just don't think the Chargers are there yet. I think that they've got a little bit of work to do. I think they're trending upward, and I think they've got a lot of pieces to be able to be very good, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I think this is going to be a close game. I think that they can stick in there, but I think that Washington's defense, like you guys said, is going to keep them in it longer. So I'm going to take the Washington football team 17-14.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think that defense is going to do a little bit more work on the Chargers than some people are expecting. Yeah,
it's not like the Chargers defense is horrible either. Like,
no,
they're probably going to Whoa,
we're good.
Technical difficulty.
If you're listening to audio only, Jake almost died.
Yeah, my ring light just fell on my face, guys. My wire got stuck under my chair, so I leaned back and now I'm out of focus.
There we
Jesus
go.
Christ.
Everything all at once.
This is why we have the title, guys. This is why we're unqualified. We do this shit on TV. We're fired. That's why we got to do it by ourselves.
The title is the only thing we did right.
Yeah, exactly. The Chargers are such a confusing team because if you look, they are one of the best paper teams every year. Like, look at their team on paper. And like every position, you're like, damn, he's good. Damn, he's good. Damn, he's good. And just they never perform up to that. I mean, that's ultimately we got Anthony Lynn fired. So maybe Brandon Staley can turn that around because that's what he was brought in there to do.
All right. Our next matchup, Jake, you're going to love this one. We've got Jets at Panthers. The Sam Darnold revenge.
Yes. Here we go. This is where his MVP campaign starts, people. Right here, right now. Yeah, I do think Sam Darnold is going to have a really good game purely because that Jets defense is nothing to write home about. It's not impressive at all. But yeah, the Panthers I got in this one pretty easily. I do think Zach Wilson's going to have a pretty good game here, just because they're going to be playing from behind all game and throwing a lot. But yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm going to take Sam Darnold to throw 4 touchdowns in this game. All right, mark that down. Again, Sped, if you're listening, 4 touchdowns. I want that in writing. Yeah, and I'm going to take the Panthers to win this. Let's go 34-20.
I really wanted him to say like 55 to like 10 or some crazy shit. I think the Panthers are building something really special. I think they're building something really special in Carolina. Offensively, they have a great wide receiver core, arguably the best running back in all of football, and Christian McCaffrey. They're rebuilding that offensive line. Their front seven is one of the best young units in the league. Their secondary keeps getting better year after year. I think they're building something really special. I don't think they have the quarterback to, contend right now. Sorry, Jake. Boo, yeah. And I also think the Jets are building something special too. I mean, their offensive line continues to improve. I think Michael Carter is going to be a really good player for them. Denzel Mims, young wide receiver, and then obviously Zach Wilson. We want to see what he has in store because he looks outstanding from what we've seen in the preseason. I'm going to go with the Panthers here. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to go off. I think he's going to have a crazy game, maybe 3+ total touchdowns. Easily over 100 scrimmage yards. He's going to be the main focal point of that offense. I think especially the first few weeks to really get Sam Darnold, maybe used to that offense in a game setting, going up against another team. I like the Panthers here. They're going to need a little bit of time to get Sam Darnold really used to that offense. Maybe we won't see a lot of deep shots, early on in the season. Those will come because DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are two flyers, but give me the Panthers to win. I'm going to go 31. I'm going to go 31-17.
I have the Panthers in this one as well. I think all in all, they just have the better team. And I think that it's going to be similar to like the Cardinals-Titans game for me, as far as the Panthers just have the better defense. If you look at the Jets defense, they've got who? CJ Mosley, Quinnen Williams, and that's about the end of the list. The rest of the guys, it's like they're just not really going to give you much. So I like the Panthers to come out and do their thing. Sam Darnold is a bit questionable to me, of course, as we've talked about many times, but I think the rest of that offense is perfectly capable of carrying them to a win in this game. I'm going to take the Panthers 24-7. I think that the Jets will be able to score.
Wow. 7.
That's going to be it for me.
Wow.
I think that defense is going to come out and they're going to play hot. I think that JC Horn is going to emerge right away. You guys know he's my defensive rookie of the year pick. So I think that they're not going to be able to put up any points.
Bold take.
Yeah. Jake, you said that you wanted Sped to have that 4 touchdown line in writing for Sam Darnold. Didn't you put something else regarding Sam Darnold in writing?
I did. Okay, people, listen. A lot of people came at me. I put out a video on TikTok after I said it on this podcast. I think this is Sam Darnold's MVP year. A lot of people were like, all right, bet on it then. I was like, okay, I have to turn 21 first. So I did turn 21 and I put $10 on Sam Darnold at plus 10,000 odds to win the NFL MVP. So a $10 bet can net me $1,000 in profit.
Put his life savings on this, guys.
Yes, guys. So basically, it's either I win $1.5 million or I'm sleeping on the street. So no biggie for Sam Darnold. Obviously no. But yeah, I did put money on this because a lot of people, didn't believe me. I didn't think I was serious about this. I am dead serious about this. And yes, if you're going to tell me $10 is not a lot of money, I'm broke. I'm a broke college kid. $10 is a good chunk of money for me. So
that's the biggest
a lot of ramen.
That is
it is. It is. That's 10 nights of ramen.
10 whole days. That's the biggest announcement for someone saying that they just wasted $10 I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, honestly. Right here on the Totally Unqualified podcast. You can't get it anywhere else.
Where else are you gonna get this shit? Nowhere. You're welcome.
All right, boys. Another quarterback situation that we've talked about pretty extensively now. We've got the Broncos facing the Giants. Teddy Bridgewater named the starter. Daniel Jones is, of course, still the starter for the Giants. We don't know for how much longer, but I guess we'll find out. Who you got?
This is Danny Dimes' big year. We all know it. This is the year where it's make or break for him. I got the Broncos in this one. I think Teddy was the safe pick, and he really showed out in the preseason. And I don't think anything's going to stop him here. Obviously, Giants have much improved defense. From last year, we don't even know if Kenny Golladay is going to play. He's banged up, I know. So I'm not even sure if he's confirmed if he's going to play or not. But yeah, Saquon apparently is going to play. But yeah, I just think the Broncos have a better all-around team, especially that defense. That defense is looking amazing. And yeah, I just think the Broncos are the better team in this one. So I'm going to go with the Broncos 21-17.
You know what the most overlooked unit in the entire NFL is? It's the New York Giants defense. Did we all of a sudden forget that they had a top 10 defense last season? And, throughout the last 7 weeks of the season, were top 3 in yards?
Had a competitive game with the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Right? There it is. With Daniel Jones as their starting fucking quarterback. That being said, I'm not picking the Giants here. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. Like you said, Teddy Bridgewater was the safe choice. He's not going to be putting the ball in harm's way. He's going to make the right reads. Look for Noah Fant to have a really, really great game. Maybe he'll finally have a breakout season because I know for a fact Blake Martinez cannot cover tight ends for shit. Although he did have a sick interception I saw the other day in preseason. No, I don't think that the Giants are going to win this game. I think this is probably going to be the last year for Danny Dimes. Like they have such good individual pieces. Saquon Barkley. That's it. No, no, they do have some talent. Well, as my blue light flashes in the screen, they have some talented pieces on that team, especially defensively. Leonard Williams finally had a great year last year. James Bradbury broke out last year as well. Xavier McKinney is going to be coming back. I like this Giants team. I don't like them to win this game. Give me the Broncos to win. I'm going to go close. I'm going to go 27-24 Broncos.
I think that the Broncos are going to win it as well. I think that Teddy Bridgewater is like the epitome of an average quarterback, and I think that that's all they're going to need to really get a win over this Giants team. The Giants, obviously, their defense is coming out and they're emerging, and they played very well the latter half of last season. But the Broncos defense is going to, like on paper, they're disgusting. If they're not really good, it's going to be weird. It's going to be odd to see if they struggle. They're getting Von Miller back. They've got Bradley Chubb. They added some great pieces in that secondary. They've got Patrick Surtain, who a lot of people thought was the best corner in the draft, and he played very well in preseason already. So I think that Daniel Jones, as much as he likes to turn the ball over, could continue to struggle, especially against a defense like this so early on in the season. So I'm going to take the Broncos in this one, 21-14.
I like it. Those are some good picks right there.
All right. And moving on, we've got an AFC East matchup, the Dolphins at the Patriots. These are two teams that I think could like really battle it out this year. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I feel the same way. These teams are definitely going to be, it's going to be a 3-person race for that division. Sorry, Jets fans, between the Dolphins, Patriots, and the Bills. Obviously, I think the Bills are going to end up winning it, but the Dolphins and Patriots are definitely going to be battling it out for number 2 spot. This is the big quarterback game. I mean, we still have a lot of question marks about Tua, and obviously Mac Jones is coming out and playing for the first time in the NFL. That they're really going to be the deciding factor in this game, I believe, because both these teams have phenomenal defenses. Dolphins have probably one of the most underrated defenses in the league. A lot of people not talking about how good their defense is. But yeah, I think ultimately I am going to go with the New England Patriots in this one. It's nothing against the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to put up a damn good fight. This game's going to be really, really close. But because it was so close of a decision for me, I just went with the better coaching. And Brian Flores is a phenomenal coach, but he ain't the teacher. He's the student. So I got to go with Bill Belichick in this one to outcoach his student and Brian Flores.
Yeah, very similarly to like the Browns-Chiefs game. If this game was in Miami, I would probably be picking the Dolphins. Since it's in New England, Bill Belichick is not going to be losing at home to the Dolphins. Give me the New England Patriots. I think Mac Jones is going to have a little bit of a hard time in this game. His first NFL start going up against a Brian Flores-led defense, which was one of the best in the NFL last year. Xavier Howard's lockdown corner. Emmanuel Ogbah had a great season last year. Very underrated season, if I may add. Good front seven. I think the Dolphins are going to apply a lot of pressure. I think they're going to get a bunch of sacks this game, actually. I'm going to go 3+ sacks for the Dolphins. Write that one down. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. They added a lot of players in this offseason. They improved one of the most improved teams from free agency, getting Hunter Henry, getting Jonnu Smith, getting Nelson Aguilar, getting a bunch of these guys that are going to help this offense, sort of become reminiscent of what they were under Tom Brady. Maybe. They still have some question marks, obviously. N'Keal Harry, the biggest one. I'm going to go with the Patriots here. I think the Patriots are going to lock down. I think Tua's not going to have the best game either. I think it's going to be a sloppy game on both sides. All right. I think it's going to be more of a defensive-led game. Give me the Patriots to win 26-16.
I like that a lot. I like that you said it's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be pretty sloppy on both sides for the offense because I totally agree. I think with both of these young quarterbacks, they are going to have some struggles, especially against two very good defenses, two very good secondaries, and it's going to be a battle. I'm going to give it 28-24 in a close game to the Dolphins. I think that Tua's bit of experience in the NFL is going to carry him over just a little bit. I think that Mac Jones is going to struggle just a little bit seeing that Dolphins secondary, especially with guys like Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, excuse me.
Byron Jones.
Yeah. But I think that the Dolphins are just barely going to edge him out.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
Did I give a score prediction?
I think I did.
Know. Maybe. Just give another one if you didn't.
I don't think I did. Yeah, I think the Patriots win 23-20.
Ooh, close.
Okay. All right. And then we are going to another team that's got a very young quarterback, but he won't be starting week 1, according to Matt Nagy. We've got Bears at Rams, Andy Dalton up against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a game. Sorry, Bears fans. I'm trying to think of good things to say. The Rams are going to win as well. Like, I don't know. The only thing that would make me think you had a shot is if Justin Fields were playing, but even then, this is still too good of a defense for him to really show out against in his first NFL showing. So I just think the Rams are going to dominate this game. This is Matt Stafford's big coming out party as part of this, whimsical offense that he's never had in his life. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to win this one big. I'm going to say Rams 31, Bears 14.
Wow. That's crazy that you say Rams 31, Bears 14, because I have the Rams winning 31, Bears 0. I legitimately think that they're going to get shut out. This is if it isn't the best defense in the league, it's definitely top 2 or 3. All right. Easily. They have the best corner back in the league, in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey, the best maybe football player in the entire league, and Aaron Donald. This defense, they did lose some pieces. John Johnson was a big loss for them. That being said, what are the Bears going to do? If it was with Justin Fields, if it was with Andy Dalton, it doesn't really matter. What are they going to do against this defense? By the way, this is the first time that SoFi Stadium is going to have fans in it, by the way. This is the first. This is pretty much their real home opener in the history of the stadium. I think it's going to be a rocking crowd in LA. It's a team that actually has fans in the Rams. I'm going with the Rams 31-0. I don't think that there's going to be much that the Bears can do offensively. I think they're pretty much they're a mediocre team offensively, defensively. I think they're a pretty mediocre team, at least until Justin Fields starts. We'll see what he can do with them. Give me the Bears to score 0 points heading into week 2.
All right. I am also going to take the Rams here. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure that everybody was just totally in awe of that pick right there. But I think that it's the beginning of the end for Matt Nagy. I think that Andy Dalton is going to come out. He's going to look like trash against a very good defense. I'm sorry, Andy Dalton. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but it's just not going to happen. And Matt Nagy is going to start working his way out of that position. I think that he could very well be gone by midseason, as we've talked about many times. And I'm going to take the Rams to win it and Matt Stafford to have a great game, 31-10. I think that the Bears will put some points up on the board, probably late. I think that the Rams are going to run away with it early, but I think the Bears will score some garbage time.
So we all have the Rams scoring 31 points.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go 34 instead.
34.
Just to be different.
I don't like that. I wish you'd stay.
I'll tack a field goal on there.
All right.
Boo.
Could you imagine boys, they score 31?
What if they score 34? Then you guys will be jealous.
What if they score 32 in some weird ass way?
What if they lose?
If they lose, then Justin Fields has never seen the field, because if Andy Dalton pulls that out of his ass, I don't know. Like, he must be on some insane MVP type shit. Yeah.
Andy Dalton.
If Andy Dalton just drops 5 touchdowns in this game, torches the defense, and everybody's like, oh shit. And Justin Fields is like, I'm not seeing the field this year.
The red rifle.
Bears fans will be fucking, they will not say anything the rest of the season. They can't. Yeah. They've been shit talking him this whole time.
Exactly.
All right, boys. Last game, Monday Night Football. Ravens at Raiders.
Do I have to? Okay, Ravens. I don't. Derek Carr's good. Brian Edwards gonna be good. That defense, no.
No.
Although I will say, props to my guy KJ Wright. Wish him the best of luck in Las Vegas. He was the longest tenured Seahawk left on the Seahawks team. He ended up leaving this year. Great player, very underrated player through his career. That's all I got to say about that. The Ravens are going to torch him. The only hope that Las Vegas has in this game is the fact that the Ravens are like down to nobody at the running back position besides Gus Edwards. Like, obviously Lamar Jackson is a running back, so you have that. But that's really it. I'm gonna have the Ravens winning this one, 30 to 21. Go 30 to 21.
All right. Just like the Rams, this is the Raiders home opener, first time with fans in. So that's gonna be a crazy crowd in Vegas. Let's see the Vegas fans show out. That's crazy. We have a NFL team in Las Vegas. So weird. Just to touch on the Ravens, because they don't have that guy at running back, which was J.K. Dobbins, who went down with the season-ending ACL tear, I believe, and then there's Justice Hill with the Achilles injury. Go sign Latavius Murray, by the way. I think we're actually going to see a completely different offense. It's going to be a lot of running, obviously, because that's Lamar Jackson's best strong suit, is his legs, is his electrifying ability to just run the football past everybody else. I think we're going to see Lamar Jackson develop as a passer this season. I think they have the wide receiver core. Once Rashad Bateman comes back, that's even better. I think he's set to miss about 5 to 8 weeks in the season, I believe. He went on IR. Sammy Watkins is an improvement. Could we please see Marquise Hollywood Brown do something? I just need to see. This guy was supposed to be Tyreek Hill. What happened to that? I don't think that the Raiders have, the greatest defense, especially not their secondary. I mean, they got some guys, but I'm going with the Ravens. I think they're going to blow them out. I'm going Ravens 34, Raiders 34 to 17. I'll go.
All right, boys. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to once again isolate an entire fan base?
Do it.
The Raiders fucking suck. They're going to be absolutely atrocious all year long. I don't care what anybody says. They're coming in last in that division. They only got worse. I love Derek Carr. I love Darren Waller. They're going to have some guys that are going to break out, but they are very reminiscent of, to me, of like that last year's Cowboys team or last year's Falcons team, where they've got some pieces on offense that they're going to be able to score with, but they're not going to be able to win these scoring races. That defense is going to bring them down. Plus that O-line just got so much worse. And you've got a guy like Josh Jacobs that a lot of people are high on, but you don't bring in another guy like Kenyon Drake if you think that Josh Jacobs is just 100% the answer and you can run him every down. So with that being said, I am also going to take the Ravens in this one. I think that Lamar Jackson puts on a clinic, even lacking some depth at the receiver position. I think that Sammy Watkins could have that Sammy Watkins game that he has every year. And Mark Andrews just got a big extension. So he's got something to go out there and prove that he is worth that money. So give me the Ravens in this one. 40 points to 17.
40. All right.
I don't think that's crazy. No,
I don't think that's crazy either. Why the fuck? Sorry, that was kind of just why. What the fuck did John Gruden do to get this head coaching job? What did he prove in his 11 years as a commentator away from the league? What did he prove in those 10, 11 years that he was capable of coming back to the NFL in a new era where West Coast offense going crazy? We have all these special quarterbacks throwing 50 plus touchdowns every season. What did he do to prove to get a 10-year, $100 million fucking contract, but we can't have Khalil Mack on the team? What did he do to prove that? Oh, he's only gone 4-12 in his first year. He only went 7-9 in his second year. He only went 8-8 in his fucking third year. At what point are we going to look at John? Yeah, improving for sure. Getting more wins. The black and
gold. At the end of his contract, they'll be a playoff team.
Maybe.
If they keep improving, just a game at a time.
And maybe if he keeps this up, his contract will end 5 years early. So, I don't know why John Gruden's still there in Oakland. Las Vegas now. It was Oakland before. Yeah. But John Gruden's got to go. Just like Matt Nagy, John Gruden has done nothing to fuck. Well, Matt Nagy, had that 12-4 season, but John Gruden has proven nothing so far since being in the league. And I don't know why he's still the head coach there. He's just not good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that John Gruden hasn't done anything spectacular for the Raiders whatsoever. And I think that he could be out of there a lot earlier than that contract ending. Apparently, they've been reaching out to the Bears this offseason trying to get Khalil Mack back. And it's like, why even trade him in the first place just to get him back? You didn't have another pass rusher. You didn't have a guy that was going to come in and be better than him or be just as good or fill that spot.
Cleveland Farrell. Is just as good as Khalil Mack. I have no idea that's why they took him with the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
But I think that John Gruden is definitely he's been a hindrance more than anything.
Yeah.
And Mike Mayock too, as the GM. I don't think has been any good.
Yeah.
Mike Mayock literally got hired just because he fucking scouts players on the NFL Network.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mike Mayock is like the nicest guy. So I was happy for him when he got the job, but I was still like, what did he do to, earn this job? I guess because John Lynch was like a commentator and he got the GM job in the 49ers, but at least John Lynch, was one of the highest football IQ guys when he played and is a Hall of Famer. And like, he understands Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock was an NFL player. A lot of people don't know that he did play in the NFL for I think like a year or two. But he did not deserve that.
Yeah, I don't get it.
He did nothing.
Timeout. In more exciting news than this fucking Raiders game, did you see that the mansion that Al Davis is building?
Mark Davis. Yeah. Yeah.
Get some names right one of these days.
Does it have a barbershop in it? Because he desperately needs a haircut.
Exactly.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It looks straight out of Star Wars. Like literally.
It's crazy.
The Death Star.
That's
crazy.
Let me look this up. That's crazy. I do want to mention that we did miss a game. The toilet bowl of the week, the Jaguars Texans. I think we skipped over, which I mean, fair to skip over as it is completely irrelevant. Mm-hmm. But should we just do that really quick? All right. I got the Jaguars Texans are a dumpster fire. Anybody want to come after me on that one? Anybody want to make a crazy take here?
I don't know. The Texans with new starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Oh, they might be out to prove something now. In this week's Who Gives a Shit game of the week, I am going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win. Trevor Lawrence in his first start. Give me the Jags 21-14. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Jaguars also. I think that Brandon Cooks could have a good game. So Brandon Cooks fantasy owners, go ahead and start him.
Hey, there is a good player in this game. Wow.
Yay.
Look at that.
Good job.
You got nothing to look forward to. So Jaguars 21, Texans 6.
Go all out for James Robinson in fantasy, though.
Wow. High scoring game for the Texans, huh?
Yeah.
6. I didn't give my score prediction. I'm going to go Jaguars 18, Texans 3.
Love it.
Jaguars 3, Texans 2.
Watch this be the most exciting game of the week. Watch this be like double overtime, 45-42, like going to be insane, just complete shootout. Both quarterbacks have 4 touchdowns. Like, watch this just blow our expectations out of the water.
You can't not pick the Week 1 Jags. The Week 1 Jags are perennial Super Bowl contenders.
They could beat anybody.
They are.
The Week 1 Jags are above like Super Bowl any Super Bowl champion. You give me the Week 1 Jags.
Week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Did they beat the Packers that year? That they
that was the only exception because they were going up against the greatest player of all time. But the Week 1 Jags, give me them over the 17-0 Patriots. Give me them over the 14-0 Miami Dolphins. Give me Week 1 Jags over every team ever.
All right, listen, James Starks is good, but I don't know if he's the greatest player of all time. So calm down.
Yeah. He wore number 44 as a running back. That shit's ugly.
It's going to be weird getting used to that this year. All the numbers, players wearing different numbers.
The number change.
I was watching some preseason games and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
All right, but at the same time, like college, like college players do this all the time. So
I don't have a problem with it or anything like that. It's just going to there's going to be like an adjusting period.
Tom Brady's being a little bit, I'm going to say Tom Brady's being a little bitch about it. He is like, Tom Brady is the only, yes, I understand why Tom Brady is being a little bitch about it. Cause he literally like his NFL career is old enough to drink. So like he's been out of college for that long. So he hasn't played single digit numbers in that long. So like, I get it. But at the same time, like just memorize the rosters before the game. Okay. You're the greatest quarterback of all time. I think you can look at a roster.
Wear leather helmets while you're at it.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Might as well.
Tom Brady being a little bitch. Haven't heard that one before. Wow.
Oh, never.
That's shocking. That's a shock.
All right, TU crew, that is going to be it from us for this week. We had a great time. We are so excited for week 1 of football to start. If you are not following us on YouTube, or if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube or anything like that yet, be sure to do that. Be sure to drop likes on all the videos. We very much appreciate it. It helps push it out to other people. Same with Apple Podcasts, rate and review us. And if you're not following us on our socials, then just tell us you hate us. Like, I mean, there's no other reason not to be following us at this point. Come on, guys.
Yeah, guys. And make sure to download the Overtime app. Going to keep emphasizing this, guys. Great app, okay? Make sure to use the link in the TikTok bio and really any of our bios. It's there to download the app. It does really help us out. And I promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun on it. And we are going to be doing something special. We're going to do monthly giveaways on the Overtime app. So be sure to look out for that. So if you want some awesome, dope Overtime merch, then you're going to have to download the app to get it. So go to the link in our bio, download it, and look forward to that.
And guys, the NFL season is starting this week. That's like 20 plus weeks of just football after football after football. So I know you're going to want to play some prop bets. Will someone streak on the field in this Titans-Cardinals game? Who knows? If you're going to play some prop bets, make sure to go do it on Thrive Fantasy. They are doing a special promotion with any $50 deposit or more. You're going to receive a 100% deposit match. If you want to donate, or if you want to do $50, they're going to deposit $50 right into your account, as well as one free ticket to both the Thursday night football contest and Sunday night football contest. Thursday night football is doing a $20,000 giveaway, and Sunday night football, they're doing a $100,000 giveaway contest. So make sure you guys get into those. And thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time.